Hey everybody, how's it going? And welcome to another episode. And I'm calling it an episode, not necessarily a beer review, because I do want to touch base on a couple of subjects, or maybe just one subject in particular. We'll go ahead by, we'll do a disclaimer that whatever I'm sharing on this is my opinion only, and blah, blah, blah. I hope that this can create a conversation about this subject in particular, and I want to have some comments. I want to have some interactions, whether you're for this opinion or against this opinion. I want to know. I haven't really had any conversations with very many people about this, and I want to know what's out there. So this is going to be like an open conversation. And to have this conversation, I'm going to be having a beer, of course, by Cavoquet. This is going to be their Baisse la Mer Sour, which is a great beer. And I chose a sour. There's a kind of a specific, a little bit of water in my glass. Kind of a specific reason why I did choose to grab a sour. I'm hoping that the focus is on the glass and on the beer. What an amazing color. Got a couple of stragglers on the glass. I didn't clean it quite well. Sorry about that. I know I myself can be a hard ass for that every now and again. But the topic that I want to talk about, it's in the title. What would happen if beer would be sold in New Brunswick, craft beer, or beer just in general, not in liquor stores, in grocery stores, independent stores, specialty stores. To me, that sounds like the perfect world. But this might not be the case for everybody, which is why I deem this as a big open conversation. Kind of like, I'm not too sure about all the specifics of what it would, when we're talking about privatization of ANBL, what that would encase. Really what I'm talking about right now today only is the selling of beer, cider, a few other things, I should say. The reason why it's very specific is I'm kind of doing a comparison to the model that I'm exposed to, that I've been exposed to in Quebec. So they can sell beer in just about every corner store available. The beer is just available throughout the entire province. Very easy accessibility, and you don't got to go through a SAQ. So they got their SAQ, their agency stores. They got their wine. They got their hard liquor, and this and that. And now that I don't want to talk about hard liquor and wine, it's just I'm a craft beer consumer. I enjoy craft beer. I would really like to see craft beer and beer altogether being sold in independent stores in the province of New Brunswick. I think it would help local producers, just for the fact that it would be an opportunity to have specialty beer stores. And that would make such a big change in how consumers go about their shopping for craft alcohol. We'll take a little break, and I'm getting thirsty having this ruby red beer in front of my face right now. This beer is so fresh raspberries, nice and tart, absolutely wonderful. A beer that makes you think of summer. We're getting some sunny days lately. It's making me have hope that there is a summer somewhere around the corner. I know we're getting hit by storms, one after the other. It's late in the season, Mother Nature. I kind of feel like saying, too little, too late. You lost the magic. Winter's over. Enough with it. Just bring on the sun. So to come back to selling craft beer and beer in stores, independent stores and grocery stores whatsoever. In my mind, that would make the experience so much better. As in, if you would have a specialty beer store, it would be owned ideally by someone who would be passionate about craft beer, therefore being well educated about the product they're selling, well capable of directing people or giving good advice on what to purchase, having good backstories on the breweries, good backstories of where the beer is from, how the beer was made, and just it's just be a better experience. Also in my mind, I do think that maybe the availability of beer throughout the province would be a little bit better. I live way up north in Bathurst. A lot of the beer that's a big concentration of the breweries in New Brunswick are located down south. Moncton, obviously the big hub of it is in Fredericton, St. John area. We don't get that much beer from those breweries up this way here. I'm not sure if that's a distribution issue from the breweries itself. This is a place where brewers, if you're watching this, be a great time to chime in with your comments and let us know, fill us in on why the distribution is not throughout the province equally, or if it's something that is on ANBL's part, which I would think it would be more on the ANBL side. But anyway, it'd be a great time for both parties to drop a comment. I'd love to know more information about that. But yeah, ideally, I would think that distribution would be a little bit better. It wouldn't be having SKUs wouldn't be based on what sells throughout the province. Having SKUs would be based on the store owner knowing what sells in their region and ordering that. Or if you want to just develop new markets, I do believe that it would be a little bit easier than going through ANBL. That's my opinion on it. I think it would make a shopping experience so much better, just much more enjoyable, and I think it would be so much good, it would bring so much good to the craft beer industry in New Brunswick, having these stores, specialty stores that are able to, give great advice and just have someone there that's passionate about selling craft beer. So the reason why, and I talked about this very early on in this episode, that I chose a sour beer. Now, when I was first exposed to this type of shopping experience, a specialty beer store, it was in Quebec, like I talked about before. And the reason why I chose a sour beer was because the first time that I walked in there, quite a long time ago, I had never tasted a sour beer, so I asked the owner of Shop Somal. You heard me talk about that store so many times, and I miss going there so effing bad. I can't wait for the borders to be back open. Lord knows when that will be. So Shop Somal, the owner, was there. I asked him, look, I never had a sour beer before. I'm hearing about it. So many great things. What do you suggest? What should I try out first as a first sour beer? I said, I don't want to burn my taste buds. Just give me something to start off with. Gave me a great beer, great advice. He knew where the brewery was from. He knew all the information about it. Very passionate. Shared the same interests that I did as well. So just rang a bell inside my head, and it's like, why do we not have this in New Brunswick? Why does it have to be so complicated? In my mind, the distribution of the beer would be better. The selling of the beer would be better. Just everything would be better. Just because of the fact that there could be the opportunity to have specialty beer stores owned by people who are passionate about the industry and passionate about selling the beer as much as the brewers are passionate about making the beer. It's a great product, a great industry, and I think that there's some lack of product knowledge when it comes to selling the product when they're selling through ANBL, which I think that privatizing beer sales, craft beer sales more specifically, in New Brunswick would be the best way to go. Again, I haven't had any conversations with very many people about this. I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff that I'm leaving out. I'm not quite sure if it would be to the advantage of the brewers or not. I wish that I would know that. If you're a brewer and you're watching this, please drop a line. Hit me up, send me a message. I think personally it would be to their advantage, but who knows? Maybe it wouldn't be. But I would absolutely love to be able to grab beer, at every convenience store, having a specialty beer store, it's just the same as having a specialty coffee shop or whatever, selling artisanal coffee. It's the same thing. It's just obviously beer needs to be regulated by the province. Blah, blah, blah. Who cares? It needs to get done. But it doesn't mean that we couldn't have these specialty stores selling specialty products that need to have the proper attention that they deserve. You know, it's a great market, and I think it could be developed a heck of a whole lot better with privatizing those sales. So that's my 2 cents on that. Let me know if you would feel the same way. If you would love to see stores throughout the province selling beer. I think it would be better for availability. Distribution should be better as well. You know, I don't know if ANBL kind of obligates you to have a certain volume to have your beer and SKUs throughout the province. But anyway, I think that if it would be privately, deliveries could be done by the breweries. Again, this is just me thinking in a perfect world. Is it possible? Who knows? I wish it would be. So, on that note, cheers, and we'll talk to you next time. Such a good beer. Amazing beer. Again, Cavoquet, Biche la Mer, sour, great beer. And cheers to enjoying New Brunswick craft beer.